Yokoso, Yokoso, Yokoso. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to the Stadia Monday Night Chat, episode 87, I believe. I hope you're good. I hope you are all well. As ever, it's another week. In fact, it's not just another week, is it? It's Stadia Pro week. Yeah, gotta love it. It's like Christmas. Oh, Christmas every month. As ever, I'm really grateful for all those of you who are here live, right here, right now, right here, right now, for all the continued support. It means a lot. You know, I enjoy doing this week in, week out, every week on my Todd, I write the script, I write the theme tune, I sing the theme tune, all of that. I do it all myself, but I only like it because I do it live and the response I get in the chat and all of that and the feedback from you guys. So thank you. Arigato gozaimasu. It is much appreciated. Always much, much appreciated. As ever, let me know what games you've been playing this week and all of that. And don't forget to hit the likes because I like it. YouTube likes it. And it helps people like you find content like this. And of course, if you are new here, wowza. Thank you for watching, whether live or on catch up, it all counts. Do me the favor though, hit the subscribe button, toggle that notification bell so you know when I go live with content like this, ladies and gentlemen, with content like this. Anyway, let us say hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let us say hello to the Stadia Monday Night Chat SWATs. The first to class with an apple for teacher in the chat. We need a name for you guys, I think. The guys that are always here from the get-go. I really love it. Right at the front of the queue, front of the stage, in the mosh pit. Call it what you will. Let's say hello to the early birds of the Stadia Monday Night Chat posse, as it were. Victor, as ever. Always a delight to see Victor. I was just sorting out my playlist, my Stadia Monday Night Chat playlist, putting it in the right order and making sure I was counting all the episodes right. Anyway, and I rewatched the beginning of episode 1. Oh my God, the quality difference between then and now. Chalk and cheese, night and day. Anyway, the point is, Victor was one of the first people in the chat ever, along with Rock, I think, to say hello in the chat in like episode 1, 87 whatever eps ago. Anyway, so Victor, thank you for that, and thank you for continued support and all of that. Lovely to see you, of course. Ray, the busiest man around here, he's on everything, doing everything, playing everything, owning everything, Stadia-wise that is, being in every stream. Love it. Absolutely love it. Jerry, how are you? Oh, yeah. And now your mama knows. Always a delight. Randy B, good to see you, sir. Ah, look at this. The trumpeter of the Stadia fan club here. Always a delight to see him in Twitter, supporting streamers. Check out his little... he does a YouTube every so often where he highlights various people in the community. Always worth to check that out. Cult of Stadia, lovely to see you. Dave! Lee, yes. Your minifigure here. Design your own minifigure. Here I am. Inled, of course. What would we do without Inled and his data? Spoiler alert, but Inled gets featured again this week on this week's episode. I think something's going on. Soul Home Studio, lovely to see you, of course. Hey, Dazzadini. What's up, bud? Good to see. Christopher, always listening. He's always listening. May not be watching, but he's always listening. Christopher. Lovely to see you there. Resident Evil 7, finally. Do you know, I haven't finished Resident Evil 7. I have finished Resident Evil 8, which probably one of my favorite games of the year. Resident Evil Village, without a doubt. Ray, drive carefully, friend. 4K 120. Wow. I'm tempted with Hitman 3, but I've spent so much money on Black Friday sales generally, not just on Stadia, but just loads of stuff. Terrible. We're getting buyer's remorse. Got to stop spending. Oh, finally got through World Seeker. Wow. Wavetail for a change of pace. That's good. Kimono Heroes. No, I'm not judging. That's good. Oh, yes. Well, Falconeer, of course, we'll come to that. Johnny Robot. Good to see you working and lurking. The best way to watch a stream, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, as I say, lovely to see you all. Thank you. We have a bumper pack show, of course, today, don't we ever? Because there was a bumper pack Stadia community blog post with the announcement of the December Pro games, of course, announced a little bit earlier. Was it earlier? I don't know. Just the way the days fell, I think, and plus the Thanksgiving weekend. Belated happy Thanksgiving to our friends across the pond there. I hope you had good time, good family time, and all of that. Anyway, but since it's Stadia Pro week, Wednesday, you know, Stadia Pro week, we get the pro titles on Wednesday. I shall be taking a deeper look at these games a little later. But we had 5 games coming to Pro. Of course, we should have at least 6. As of Unto the End is meant to be coming on the 10th of December. This was originally a title for October. It was scheduled as a pro title in October, and it's got pushed out for whatever reason. You know, doesn't really matter. Go to Reddit if you want to conspire and come up with conspiracy theories, but it doesn't matter. Went from October to December. Let's have a quick look at the blog anyway. Here we are, and we'll get to the pro packs, but Jackbox Party Pack 8. I was going to play that yesterday on the demo, but I think the demos ended. I couldn't see it anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure I had a little look. The little demo that was on there, I was going to play it with the kids. They were wanting to play a game. We ended up playing a different sort of game, a similar sort of game to that. But there's coming up to sort of Christmas and I guess Thanksgiving and families and stuff like that. Games like this, all gathered around the TV, everybody holding their mobile phone. Ideal. Anyway, so yeah, and then so the pro games, of course, which I'm going to go through in depth. So don't worry about that. We got Transformers Battlegrounds, Wreckfest, Destroy All Humans, Falconeer Warrior Edition, Windstar. Thank you. Just subscribed. What do you mean you just subscribed, Windstar? Catch up, sir. No, I'm grateful for it. Thank you. And Foreclosed. But we'll come to those pro titles, as I say. Farming Simulator 22. Never been the same when I just drove around in my tractor with Farming Simulator 19 with a trailer full of corn. No idea where I was meant to take it. Gave up. Anyway, somebody posted that Farming Simulator 22 was currently more popular than Battlefield. And I don't know what that was based on. Like, well, you know, concurrent players or streams or something like that. But somebody posted a tweet saying farming. So don't underestimate. Oh, Farming Simulator. I want Battlefield. Where's such and such title? There's a massive, you know, may not be my cup of tea, Farming Simulator 22. I may not know what to do with my corn. Nope, nothing rude about that. I may not know what to do with my corn. But titles like Farming Simulator 22 are hell popular by the looks of things, by all accounts. So it's good to have these sort of titles that are really popular. They may not be the big, you know, blockbuster titles, but they're popular. Therefore, it adds to that collection and broad selection of games that Stadia has. So that's good. Let me know if you're a fan of that. The Turkey Trial for Thanksgiving came to Ark. Turkey Trial 5, obviously an ongoing thing here for Ark Survival fans. That's running until the 7th. 2 weeks there. Go on the hunt for the unforgiving super turkeys and harvest wishbones. I've never really got into Ark. I still haven't got into it. Rayman Legends. Oh my gosh. Talking of games that I've been playing. I was just playing Rayman Legends just now. Oh, konbanwa, yokoso, Yoshihira. Lovely to see you. Beautiful as ever. But yeah, Rayman Legends, I'm loving it. I mean, I knew I quite liked it, and I thought, oh yeah, I love that. I played it. But then you always worry that it's not going to be quite the same as you remember it when I used to play it. Can't remember what I played it on, maybe the Wii, PlayStation, various, Rayman games. But I tell you what, I've just been dipping into it now and then. Absolutely love it. It's such a good game because the levels aren't too long, so you can just dip in. I even got a daily award. I never do sort of daily missions and things like that on games, but yeah, I got a bronze cup. I got on the charts, on the Rayman charts. Very happy with that. So yeah, absolutely. Michel Ancel, brilliant game designer. Rayman, Beyond Good and Evil, and the Raving Rabbids. It's such a good, if you like platforming games, it's just relaxing in a way. It's not too difficult. The game design, I think the level design is just brilliant. I mean, it's up there as one of the best level designs in terms of platforming games. And I'll fight anyone who says otherwise. It's brilliant. Some extra content for FIFA, untradeable next-gen player item. I swear I looked for this. We played it. My son and I have been we play the hell out of. So that's the other game I play the hell out of, this FIFA 22, non-stop. My son's obsessed with it. I let him do all the squad battle designs, and then between us, we play all the time. And the same with Madden 22. Receive an ultimate Bono's Ultimate Team Starter Pack. And of course, the incredible Black Friday deals continue. So that was a blog post, but the key thing here, of course, say looking at the rest of the blog post, the key thing here, it's all about the pro games, isn't it? Yeah, it's all about the pro games. Let's just, so I don't miss out anybody here. Soul Home Studio's been playing Cyberpunk, Dirt 5, Red Dead Redemption 2. Brilliant. I believe there's an alternative game if the year awards, there's an alternative game if in the year awards in the making. Alternative game of the year awards. Is that, I think that's what you mean, isn't it? 4K 120. An alternative game of the year awards in the making. Possibly. It's funny you should say that. I did have an idea. Really excited for the pro games this week. No, absolutely, Randy B. So am I. And we're going to come to them now. Oh, yeah, Winstar. Second accounts are tight. I love it. Yoshida. Oh, look, the little emotes show up there. That's lovely. Beautiful. Ice cold. Bud, good to see you, sir. It's awesome when you're stuck in traffic on a Monday listening to me. Of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. Anyway, let's talk about the pro games. In terms of pro games, so there's 5 pro games, and we think there may be 6 if Unto the End comes. As I said, I also suspect we might have the odd pro game shadow drop of a pro game, or at least a free to play. Animal Royale, anybody? Free to play? In December. Remember last year, I think we got one on Christmas Eve. Satulu Does Christmas. A little fun drop game. But there we go. So I think we may see some more activity, pro game wise or free game wise, or even free trial wise, over December, because it's the prime time to get people to try these things. Anyway, so that's my theory. Let's come back and we can have a talk about it in a few weeks to see if I was right. Anyway, the pro game library itself is looking mighty fine. And as I've mentioned previously, there does seem to be a definite trend in there being a net gain of titles each month, i.e. substantially more coming in than going out. And so we're seeing that Stadia Pro library at any one moment growing. The trend is definitely there. We've seen it. We'll come to INLED's charts, which sort of show that, but there's definitely, they're pushing towards that. So that's really good. And this is especially cool if you think about it. The Stadia Pro library being the biggest it's ever been right now. It's the largest Stadia Pro library at any one time. It's really cool when you consider all the promotions around it. I've seen so many tweets, partly because of Cult of Stadia there, who retweets these things, of people going, "I've just got myself a Stadia. I've just got myself a Stadia. I'm so excited." Or "It's amazing. Oh my God, I've been playing Stadia this week. It's amazing." And it's like, yeah, tell me something I don't know. It is amazing. And part of that, and I've said it so much on the show, you can talk about the history of Stadia and the hiccups and the stumbles and all of that. But at the end of the day, if somebody tries Stadia right now, one, it works amazingly, looks amazing. And B, you've got 40, at least, more than 40 pro games to try for a month for free, plus the free trials going on. I mean, it's such a great time to be coming to Stadia. And I remember I quoted Leo, who's on Cloudburst, from a couple of weeks ago, when he said, you know, Stadia at its launch was at the worst it would ever be. And in the same manner, Stadia right now is the best it's ever been right now. And it will only improve, if that makes sense, you know? So a perfect time for these deals and offers and Stadia Premier Edition sort of people, newcomers that I see anecdotally on Twitter, and Jack sort of talked about, you know, he's seen some spikes in Reddit recently. There seems to be an impact with the Black Friday sales. So, you know, based on anecdotal evidence and some data. So that's good to see. And as I say, Pro Library, as big as it is right now, perfect time to sort of get involved and all of that. Anyway, let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the pro titles in more detail. Let me know which of these pro titles you're most looking forward to, ladies and gentlemen. Right. So, starting off, ladies and gentlemen, with Transformer Battlegrounds, ladies and gentlemen. Transformer Battlegrounds. Okay, so this is from our friends at Outright Games. This one's, as I say, so this is another title from our besties, Stadia besties, Outright Games. It's got 64% on Metacritic. Not amazing, but then it's a sort of a kid's game in a way. As I understand it, the title, that's a short trailer. The title initially released last year on other platforms, PlayStation 4, you can see the consoles there. And interestingly enough, was developed by CokeSync, as you can see there, developed behind my head. No, there. Yeah, there, CokeSync. Of course, who developed Get Packed for Stadia. So they, you know, I'm assuming they also did the Stadia version and it didn't go to a port house, since they know all about Stadia. And they are part of the Thunderful group, who are again great supporters of Stadia. Basic plot of the game. Let me just run that through again. As evil Megatron closes in on the Allspark Bumblebee and the Autobots, they need a new commander to help save Earth. You assemble your squad and roll out for a battle that will rage from Central City to Cybertron, and even to the local multiplayer arcade. So there's a sort of a strategy game, a tactical warfare. That's how they describe it. Very much described as a tactical warfare adventure game. Not my cup of tea, really, tactical warfare adventure games. But again, I know they're quite popular. A sort of kiddie version of it, I suppose. Don't want that. So a tactical warfare adventure game, Battleground, is based on the Cyberverse franchise. The Cyberverse franchise, featuring the character designs and the voice actors from the accompanying animated series. So we know that sort of Outright Games have got this relationship, contract, whatever, with TV properties from various things like Cartoon Network and different things, bringing these sort of kids titles and stuff. So there we go. It uses the voices from the animated series. So yeah, interesting. Not my cup of tea personally, not my cup of tea, but good to have. The game also features local multiplayer. So you can team up with a friend or take them on solo in arcade style games. Plus there's additional DLC that comes with the game as well. So well worth checking out if people are into Transformers. I was never really into Transformers. Really. Sorry. And as for the films, they're Michael Bay films. I could really give them a miss. Too much editing. All right, Grandad. No, seriously, mate, too much editing. Next up, of course, and previously launched on Stadia is, of course, when was it launched? It was back in, it was quite late, December, I think. Yeah, December last year. And it is, of course, Destroy All Humans. I was gonna buy this. I was waiting so long. Oh my God, it took so long to come to Stadia. Do you know this was teased back in August 2019 as part of a Stadia Connect? So we knew this was coming to Stadia back in August 2019. It finally landed in December 2020, 18 months later. Well, you know, just under 18 months later, having released on the consoles at the end of July 2020. Anyway, so it's had a good year on Stadia, this one. And the game generally, it's got a 96. Oh, that's a good shot. We'll leave it there. Don't like that one. The game has a 96% Google user rating and a 4.5 out of 5 audience rating summary. So popular. Oh, no, man. I like the... Go back to the... Oh, I like that. I liked where I had it frozen. Let's just skip that. Oh, no. Oh, God. Look where it's gone on to now. Just quickly, look. It's Sunny. Hello, Sunny. Anybody watch Sunny? Well, you all watch Sunny. What am I saying? Anybody who watch Sunny? You all watch Sunny. I know that. Wow. I'll come to Sunny later. Anyway. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is Falconeer. Falconeer Warrior Edition, I hasten to add. Remember that. Warrior Edition. So, the Falconeer Warrior Edition, this only launched on Stadia a month ago, 6th of October. And it's already, so just over, a month ago, 2 months effectively, I guess. It's already a Stadia Pro title, or will be this week. Obviously, familiar with it, you soar through the skies aboard a majestic warbird, exploring a stunning oceanic world and engaging in epic aerial dogfights. This is a BAFTA-nominated air combat game from solo developer Thomas Sala. I mean, round of applause to Thomas Sala, because the game, by all accounts, looks amazing. I'm not sure about flying. I will try it. I have a problem with flying games. Or games that are extensively flying. I'm sorry, Thomas. My brain gets confused. Anybody, you know, saw me playing Riders Republic and the flying bits? Oh, my God. Anyway, you take on the role of the Falconeer, a powerful airborne warrior, traversing a vast oceanic world. Let's stop that one there. Look at that. BAFTA nominated. Traversing a vast oceanic war-torn, a world torn apart by generations of poisonous decisions and dissent. Throughout multiple campaigns, you will experience life from many different perspectives and loyalties as you embark on a journey of discovery and solve the mystery of URC, its people and its history. There we are. Wow, busy man, Thomas. This is the Falconeer Warrior Edition, which includes the fully updated game, plus the Hunter DLC, as I understand it, adding a new player class with a flyable Ormir dragon, and a set of pyropot guided rockets. I don't know. And the new Edge of the World DLC containing 3 additional side quests and new boss encounters. I think that is what the Warrior Edition contains. Interestingly, the Falconeer is also on Games Pass, which is interesting. But it's the Falconeer. I'm not sure. I had a quick look on Games Pass, and I think it's just the Falconeer. It's not the Falconeer Warrior Edition. So if you're subscribing to the 2, play it on Stadia. Not only does it look amazing on Stadia, but you're getting the full Warrior Edition as part of Pro. So there we go. So it's quite interesting, actually. It's on Stadia Pro. Actually, there's some interesting thoughts about the Pro, not just Games Pass Pro model, but the Stadia Pro model from Thomas Salah himself. I just thought I'd share, just to get a perspective of a small indie developer. I mean, this is one guy who developed this game, so can't get much smaller than an indie than that. But he said, interestingly enough, he shared some interesting thoughts here. There we are. I told you, look at this. Shout out to Inled. Thomas is admiring your data. Let's just call this up, actually, before we go to the thing. Look here. 44. Does this looks like the 5 here. Inled, if you're in the chat, does this include Unto the End? Should it be 45, or will it be 45? But look at that trend. I mean, that is the steep. Yeah, I think that's a steeper slope than there. I think we can get to a point I mentioned before where there'll be 50 games. 50 games in Pro, which is pretty good. Pretty impressive anyway. It's great to see. I tell you what I love about Inled's charts. It's not just the data, it's the colors. Being colorblind, I like these colors. I can see all the colors of the rainbow. Well, I can't actually, ironically enough, I can't see all the colors of the rainbow because I'm colorblind, but I can see all the colors here, at least the differentiation between the colors. And that's why I like it Inled. Bright colors are very helpful to me. Appreciated. Stadia Pro, Falconeer Warrior Edition, Metascore 80, time to beat, between 9 to 16 hours, retail value $30, ranking within the Stadia Pro library. These are the Metascores here. I love these charts. Sorry, Inlet. I love your charts. Anyway, the point is, this one here. Anyway, the point is, the reason I wanted to post this, I just wanted to share some thoughts here from Thomas himself. Looks great. Loving it. A few facts about the Stadia Pro games there. And Winstar, shout out to Winstar, who of course who just subbed with his second account. I thank you. Shout out to Winstar. Thanks for bringing Falconeer to Stadia Pro. I appreciate it. Feels bad didn't buy the game first, but glad a lot of Stadians will enjoy your game. That's very sweet. Very sweet. Feeling bad that it's going to be a pro game after a month and poor old Thomas isn't going to get any money. Don't you go worrying about our Thomas. Thomas says, so this is the developer of the game, sole developer. Playing is supporting. All these inclusive deals always give back to the makers. Might feel like a steal, really isn't. Everybody should enjoy their pro guilt-free. So he's, I think if you're an indie, I think things like Stadia Pro and Games Pass, you probably benefit a lot more from, because your title is more likely to get more attention and you'll probably get money up front. or a favorable deal to get money quicker. So you're not dependent on the sales necessarily straight off. And so as a young, small developer with cash flow, like anybody else, you want that money in and an advance against, against sales in terms of a games pass and things like that. They all kind of help. Anyway, let me know if you're looking, I'm certainly, look, despite what I said about flying, I'm going to give this a go. It looks really beautiful, and it would be a shame not to. So, but let me know whether you're going to give Falconeer a go. But I just thought I'd share those interesting thoughts from the developer himself about Stadia Pro, and arguably, I presume he's also talking about Games Pass. He's not losing out. He's not losing out. He's very happy because you get the profile, you get the attention. You're not having to fight against all these sort of mega titles all the time. People on Stadia Pro, you'll give them a game. Like, how many games have we played on Stadia Pro that we perhaps would never have played had they not been on Stadia Pro? And therefore, we would never have bought the game. And if we'd never bought the game, none of that money would be going to that developer. But now, with a new business model, by us merely logging in and playing that game that's on Stadia Pro, a game we wouldn't have bought and wouldn't have sent money to the developer, is now going to go to the developer. So you can see there's an upside, especially for indies. So, for the small indie developers, as I say, things like Stadia Pro can be an absolute godsend, as it'll, guarantees a bit of a money and attention, and you potentially get a quick return on your investment. Which, if you're a small indie, a small business, that's what you want. You don't want to be hanging around a long time for your money and things like that. So that's really great. So I hope it works for Thomas. I hope it's good. Anyway, next up, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, of course, is Foreclosed. Now, I just went back to Foreclosed. This was a great title, but I do have issues with it. So it's a sort of a cyberpunk. This was the promotional Stadia. It's got that lovely comic book style, and I love the comic book panels and all of that in it. It looks really, really great. I understand it's been recently updated. Oh, look, it's got his hoodie on like that. I'll just put my hoodie up there like that, you see. This was released back in August from Merge Games. I bought this title, so I'm not going to be benefiting from Stadia Pro. I bought this title, but it was a steal at the time. It wasn't that expensive. But I do find the controls a little bit oversensitive, a little bit wayward. I think it's almost for keyboard. Yeah, it's like I can hardly target with my controller, and I'm a console controller boy. Don't like this. I think it's sort of set up for keyboard players. But I do struggle with the controller on this, and I can't find any place. I can change the aim assist and the speed. Maybe I need to alter the speed of the aim, but I can't see how you can sort of reduce the sensitivity. So I find the sensitivity of the control is too high for me as a controller player. But despite that, it's great. But I did test it out again this afternoon because I knew this was coming up, because somebody mentioned that there'd been some updates with it and stuff like that. Oh, well, Crow Razine, I've seen you play PUBG, so I know you haven't got a problem with the controller. I've seen you deadly in PUBG. But personally, I just found the controls a little bit wayward. I had to adapt my style, my sort of game style for it. But I hate, but as I say, I paid for it, but I don't mind. Statistically, I do pretty well. I mean, there's not many games. I mean, initially, at the outset, I think of Stadia, there were a few games that I'd bought that then came on Stadia Pro, but that's just statistically a probability. As more and more games become available, your chance of having bought a Stadia Pro game, unless you're Ray and you buy every single game that exists, becomes less. So I've done pretty well, actually. So But anyway, I understand there's been some improvements with Foreclosed. Anyway, it's a narrative-driven action shooter set in a cyberpunk world filled with action, suspense, and experimental augmentations. Sounds a bit familiar. You follow the story of Ivan Kapnos, his identity recently foreclosed, stripped of his job, his brain implants, and his access to the city blockchain. He must now escape before his identity and implants are auctioned off. Charming. I just love, and again, it's an interactive graphic novel style and has an interactive graphic novel and immersive narrative, which is really cool. Combines the playability of video games with the sleek visual aesthetic of comic books. Everything from the gameplay to the cinematics are experienced with this stylistic framework of a graphic novel. And that's everything I liked about it right from the get-go, from the early trailers and all of that, with the full screen and comic panel perspectives and the way that they seamlessly blend together as you move throughout the foreclosed cyberpunk city, uncovering the gripping conspiracy story. So, and then the cutscenes are also interactive, and the transitions smoothly between sort of alternative gameplay styles and stuff like that. So really cool game. Once you get the hang of the controls, definitely highly recommend if you've not played it before. Very, very stylish game. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed. Very stylish game indeed. Right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and the one I'm really looking forward to, is, of course, Wreckfest. But before that, I stumbled across this Reddit post from over a year ago. And this was posted a year ago by Dr. Spaceman here. And he was talking about seeing how TH Nordic is bringing their SpongeBob game to Stadia. And they are the ones publishing Kingdom of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. Man, I'd be happy to get back into that game, blah, blah, blah. Then this person here, Quetzy says, this is over a year ago. Wreckfest would be nice to get on Stadia. I've played it a lot, and it's actively updated also. But THQ, please, no 30 frames per second console version. And then Steknet says, this is 11 months ago, says, yes, this game needs to come to Stadia. It's addictively fun. Witch! Burn the witch! Burn the witch! They knew over a year ago. There you go. See? You make these wishes, and it may take a year, but, you know, they may well come, ladies and gentlemen. They may well come. But I just thought it was interesting. Reddit posts asking for the game over a year ago. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. So brand new to Stadia, ladies and gentlemen, is, of course, Wreckfest, ladies and gentlemen. Breakfast? No, Wreckfest. From THQ Nordic. Complete edition as well, I believe it is. Wreckfest Complete Edition. So I'm assuming it's this version that we're getting. Again, if everybody knows for sure, let me know. But I think we're getting the complete edition of this game. It was, it came to the next gen consoles, or the current gen, if you want to call it that, recently as well. PlayStation 5, all updated for PlayStation 5 with new visuals and stuff like that, and Xbox Series X. Stadia, of course, described this as an action-packed demolition derby-themed racing game featuring soft body damage modeling, sophisticated driving dynamics, and in-depth vehicle upgrading. Choose from demolition derbies and much, much more, and traditional track races. It's all about fun, apparently, people. It's all about fun. Breakneck racing and over-the-top crashes. It does look hella fun. Does look really cool. Of course, this is released by THQ Nordic, friends of Stadia. And it was released back in 2019 for consoles. And this is a game that seems also to get a number of seasons and upgrades and updates, as mentioned in that Reddit post from a year ago. The person was mentioning it gets lots of updates, which is good. I like that, especially if it's sort of an older game, that it's still getting updates, especially if it's going to be a pro game. As I said, the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 versions came out in May this year. So I think that's probably why they started working on the Stadia 1, or there was an opportunity for them to develop a Stadia 1, a Stadia version, since they were doing updated versions for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So they were fiddling about with the code. Might as well while you're at it. Whether it was Stadia doing it or THQ suggesting it. You know, the account manager that looks after at Stadia, who looks after THQ Nordic, saying, "Oh, I see you're upgrading Wreckfest. That'd be great, you know, for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. While you're at it, it'd be great to have it on Stadia." There's also been an update as well from October 2021 for the title as well. So that's what I'm saying about it's good that it gets updated. So it's only updated like a month ago. Let's see if we can find that update. I think they added some kind of Wreckfest trucks or something like that. Here we go. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so there was an update here. I think it involves this kind of crazy truck thing going on. So this was updated in October 21. There we are. Tournament. Oh, we missed it. So quick. Oh, no, there we are. We're getting it again. So this looks like it was a tournament in October added. So, you know, it's good DLC. Tournament October 21. New rewards. All of that. Look. And the king of content coming up next. Quick, quick. Cut away. Whew. Can't have him on here. Anyway, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Some pretty exciting pro titles. Let me know what you think. Which one you're looking forward to? I mean, for me, personally, Wreckfest. I think it's got a 24 multiplayer. So great for streaming, I think. Definitely be looking to stream some of that. It does look awesome. I hope it's a great one. Well, yeah, I mean, there's stuff to pay for it, but yeah, they've opened the files, haven't they? And they've got them out. So it's not as though they're paying for all of the effort, if that makes sense. So it's a golden opportunity. That's what you need to do. I think if you're an account, if you're a product manager for Stadia, you need to be keeping your eye to the ground, talking with your publishers, finding out what's coming up, but what updates are coming up for the PlayStation 5 and, you know, Xbox Series X, and get in there with suggestions. That's how I'd do it. Stadia, I am available. If you're looking for a deal maker, heartbreaker, deal maker, give me a shout. But yeah, Wreckfest for me is the title that I'm most looking forward to. Oh, there we go. Just take that down there. Right. Now, but of course, that's just the pro titles, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the pro titles. There's still actual titles, you know, to buy and stuff like that. Releases, new games, brand new, coming to Stadia in the next week. In fact, starting off with tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, lest you forget, because we're so excited about the Stadia Pro titles. Yeah. Tomorrow, for those hunter-gatherers of you out there, Hunting Simulator 2 arrives. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like shooting things, this arrives on Stadia tomorrow. Let me know if that's your sort of thing. So it'll be interesting what price it is. Did they mention the price? Can't remember. Can't remember now. But yeah, it's slightly different pace sort of sniper shooter game. Instead of killing Nazis or zombies or whatever, you're hunting stealth-like for deer and duck and wildebeest, turkeys by the looks of things, and all of those. So you've got that. So that's coming tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. And then, hot on the heels of that, and that's, you know, quite a popular game, on Friday, oh my God, this is a much anticipated game by many I know. Friday, ladies and gentlemen, sees the arrival of Chorus. There's been a lot of speculation about the graphical quality of this being really high. There's even suggestions that there'll be ray tracing on it and stuff like that, but I think it was just a misunderstanding back in the day. But from the visuals that we've seen so far, it looks really, really cool. Obviously, it's a trailer, or bits of sort of elements of control there in that bit there and the way that looked. But graphically, I mean, it looks immense. It's a flying game, though. Oh, no. I hate flying. I hate dogfights. I get confused. That's not... I don't know when I'm turning. I don't think I've got 360 spatial awareness. I'm a 180 man. But anyway, it looks, from the trailers, it looks spectacular. Anyway, but that's coming on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? Friday. So you've got Hunting Simulator Wednesday, then Chorus on Friday. So there's so much to look forward to, and it's just beginning of the month. And then I think that's it, isn't it? Can't believe there's another game. Yes, there is. Next Wednesday, so a week on Wednesday. And there's more. There's more. As they say, there's more. Not a snail. I've got a picture of a snail here. You don't want to see a picture of a snail. There we go. So a week on Wednesday sees the release of... That's not my desktop. 9 to 5, people. As we talked about last week, a sort of... is it disingenuous? Is it a bit derogatory? Call it a poor man's Rainbow Six? I don't know if it plays well. If they take some of the sort of the good bits of a Rainbow Six Siege, I'm fine with that. It looks like it plays really well. Anyway, so 9 to 5, ladies and gentlemen. That's coming a week on Wednesday. A week on Wednesday. There we are. So within a week, we've got, well, just over a week, we've got 5 pro titles coming. Then 3 brand new games coming, all within the next week or so. So fill your boots, ladies and gentlemen. There is a lot of game time to be, had, a lot of playing. It is. I only wanted. There's a few things coming in December. I only wanted to go as far as a week. That's why I didn't mention that. Randy B. It's not coming next week, is it? But anyway, I look forward. There's lots to look forward to over the next 7 days. So let me know what though. Let me know in the chat what you are most looking forward to. And in other news or speculation, this is much more speculation. Okay. Don't know about this. And this was I only came across this evening as well. I've closed down my thing. I thought I'd done there with all the news, but there was more. In fact, there's two more bits of news. Ooh. So a game was announced by Outright Games today. Can't say I'll be playing this. Now, this wasn't announced for Stadia. They just announced it coming to all consoles. So there's no guarantee it's coming to Stadia. But what we do know about Outright Games is they do try and make an effort to bring all the games to Stadia. Even if they don't all come day and date. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. But they do make an effort to bring all their games that they're releasing to Stadia. They've mentioned about enjoying their partnership with Stadia and stuff there. Could be reasons why it doesn't come to Stadia because of the rights and stuff like that. But this is Ryan's Rescue Squad. Is that Ryan from the YouTube Ryan? Yeah, it is. It's YouTube, Ryan's World. For those of you not familiar with Ryan's World, oh, there we are. I've got it there. He's look at that. How old is he? About 9? Less than that. 31 million subscribers. Unbelievable. Look, he even does stuff in Japanese. Ryan's World. Anyway, he's been around. In fairness, he's been around for a while. Listen, he's a tiny kid. He's been around. I've been in this game, man and boy. Yeah, I met Ryan at a YouTuber content creators convention. He came up to me. He said, son, I've been doing this. Man and boy, I've been doing this for 5 years, sonny boy. You take a tip from me. If you want to get 31 million subscribers like me, Clive, you take a tip from me. Yeah, he's a veteran. Ryan, he's a veteran of YouTube. 31 million subs. Anyway, he's a phenomenon. He's a phenomenon on YouTube, he is. And he has merch and games and stuff like that. Anyway, Ryan's man and boy, I've been making YouTube videos, Clive. I could teach you a thing or two. Thanks, Ryan. It's all about the thumbnails, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Ryan's Rescue Squad was announced today by Outright Games. So absolutely kiddies game here. You join. Here it says, Ryan's friends have been kidnapped by the evil Dark Titan. Of course they have. Robocombo and Pack Rat, and you're the only hero who can rescue them. You set out on a quest packed with slime. Of course you do. Spaceship flying bosses and Ryan's surprise eggs. What are you going to do without Ryan's surprise eggs? Collect some coins and surprise eggs to unlock new shop items and customize your character and make Ryan even richer than he already is, especially his parents. No, I'm paraphrasing that bit. But yeah, now they just announced this. Outright Games announced this coming to consoles today. As I said, no Stadia announcement unless they've responded to my Twitter tweet about it. But what we do know is that Outright Games do a good effort to try and make sure that all their games come to Stadia. So we might see it later, but it's definitely one for the kids there. Definitely one for the kids. Ryan is super popular with kids. I can't believe he's still super popular with kids because they must have outgrown him. But obviously, a new generation of kids come in because he's been. Yeah, I mean, I joke, but he has been around for a while. I can't believe he still looks like that. He's going to be a point where he just turns into a horrible teenager, and then his parents just start weeping in the corner because they can't. He's not cute anymore, and they can't make any more money out of him. Oh, you cynic, Clive! You cynic. No. It was just, they're sweet videos, but there comes a point where he's going to stop being a sweet boy, isn't he? I mean, that's just life. It's called growing up. Anyway, as I said, no word yet is coming that it's coming to Stadia, but with Outright Games track record, if I was a betting man, anyway, there you go. Ryan's World. Now, I've talked a lot on this show. What have they put in my drink today? What have you put in my drink? I'm hallucinating. I'm going mad. It's what happens when you do these things solo. Slowly go mad. I'm talking to myself every Monday. I've talked on this show. Seriously, I've talked on this show about the importance of Stadia being on smart TVs and how significant that is, being on, all Google TV enabled smart TVs, of which there are a lot. Sony TVs, Sharp TVs, come to that in a minute. TCL TVs, loads of TVs, and then obviously Chromecast with Google TV and the LG app. Soon, come on, please, LG, which I'm funny feeling will be delayed now, but it will come. No, although having said that, Stadia have a habit of pulling these things out at the last minute. That's what she said. No, there was no need for that, was there? It was crude. Anyway, they have a last, you know, so like I can imagine it being the last week of December, the LG Stadia app. Anyway, I digress. I've talked about how significant it is, Stadia being on smart TVs and the devices that you own. Literally, what people don't realize and they underestimate, especially people, and I've commented it on Cloudburst, I've commented it on other people's chats. So many people in gaming or YouTube commentators or content creators are so fixated with the old way of thinking that gaming, the whole business model of gaming is about selling boxes, making a £500 decision. Yeah. And that's why, you know, most people, you know, either choose an Xbox or a PlayStation 5. Yeah, there are lucky people who just buy every, you know, but generally that's why you have this sort of tribalism, because people have to make a choice because you're spending 500 quid. But what people can't get into their heads is that with cloud gaming, your choice is like 10 quid a month. So you can have GeForce Now, Xbox Games Pass, and Stadia, and PS Now, whatever. And financially, that's not a big decision. You can have them all. You're not faced with that £500 decision. And so it requires a different mindset. It's not that kind of tribalist. It's either one or the other because it's a 500 quid emotion, you know, investment, and an emotional investment of that, you know. And the thing that Stadia is doing that the people don't realize is that the fact that Stadia is not secretly, although the way they market it seems like it's secret, Stadia is infiltrating people's homes without them even realizing. As Bill from Nerd Nest once said, hey, you know, you've already got a Stadia genius, you know, everyone already has a Stadia. You know, we see all these tweets going, I've just bought a Stadia. Yeah. This is not a Stadia. Yeah. This is a controller with a Chromecast Ultra. This is not a Stadia. Yeah. You've already got Stadia. I can't wait to try out Stadia. I hope it works all right. We'll try it out straight away. Don't wait for your Stadia Premier Edition. In fact, try it out before you buy a Stadia Premier Edition. That's the thing. Stadia most people already have Stadia. They don't even realize it. Yeah. Be it a browser, be it their Google TV, be it a Chromecast with Google TV device, a smartphone, you know, their iOS device. So Stadia already exists on so many devices. It's not about, I wonder how many of these they're going to sell. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many of these they sell. In fact, these become less relevant because you don't need a Chromecast Ultra. That's why they're giving them away. I saw somebody say on Reddit, I'm going to digress quickly. I saw someone on Reddit going, yeah, it's a sure sign the Stadia is failing because they're giving all these away and they're cutting the price. The problem with that theory is then they would also cut the price of the controllers, which they haven't done. They would also cut the price of the controller and Chromecast with Google TV bundle, which they haven't done. So what does that say? They're trying to get rid of these because they are less relevant now, but still useful at 22 quid. So that people just get, you know, use their own controllers or buy a Stadia controller when they're ready because they've got a smart TV and all of that. Anyway, the point is Stadia is slowly infiltrating everybody's lives without them even realizing, like a Manchurian, like the Manchurian candidate. Yeah. A sleeping giant. So that when they're Stadia curious, yeah, when people become Stadia curious, They already have it. It was there all along, everywhere. It was there all along, like electric air. Now, the reason I mention this is because this was spotted by an eager-eyed person on Twitter who is called Louise Elguibero. I hope I said your name all right there. Louise. And he pointed out here, look, happy to see at Google Stadia being shown in the package. So this is a Sharp TV. Oh, look, it's in the UK as well. Is that in Curry's? Luis Elguibero? Is that in Curry's, I wonder? So this Sharp TV. See, I didn't know Sharp TVs came with Google TV and, you know, Android TV powered. But look, on the side here, Sharp TV, Sharp Android TV works with OK. I nearly said it then. OKG. Netflix, YouTube. I think that says Prime. Yeah, there we are. Let's go big, Clive. That will help. Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, Stadia on the box. Now, right now, that may not be that significant to people who are buying. Then, you know, I can't be going, oh my God, I can't believe it's got Stadia on it. I'm definitely buying that Sharp TV. I can't quite see that now, but you can see where they're going with this. Yeah. That it's just another popular app. It will become eventually another popular app on your smart TV, just like Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, and Stadia. It's clearly to Sharp TV, it's a selling point. So as I said, it may not be super significant right now to that many people. You know, we know that some people just, even gamers, don't know what Stadia is. But as it becomes more widely known, as time goes by, it will be even more significant than you really think it. And when people really realize, and this is what kind of frustrates me sometimes, people just don't get. This is the slow infiltration of Stadia everywhere, so that it just is like Gmail. Like 1 minute, oh no, I use AOL, or I use, you know, Yahoo Mail, whatever. And then before you know it, everybody uses Gmail. There was a point when nobody did use Gmail, but now everybody uses it. I don't, Clive. I still use AOL. That's because you're a boomer. Yeah, so this is Stadia. This is putting Stadia in people's homes without them even realizing they have Stadia. They have a gaming console. Yeah. And once people get over this idea that, oh, having a gaming console means buying a box. Yeah. Oh, I bought a Stadia. Right. Once people get beyond that and go, well, what's this Stadia app? It's there, ready and waiting whenever they are, whenever the mainstream comes into cloud gaming and Stadia and all that kind of stuff, ready and waiting. All Stadia have to do is just let people know what Stadia is and the fact that they already have it, probably. Now, clearly for me, this has not been Stadia's strength, you know, letting people know what Stadia is, but maybe they're just not quite at that stage of sort of mass market, because cloud gaming's not at that stage. You can't rush too far ahead, assuming that everybody in, you know, the mass market is going to know what you're talking about. You've got to get to that stage, but you've got to put the tanks on the lawn. You've got to put the, you know, the fortress in place, the ammunition, get everything lined up, ready for that moment when the penny drops and cloud gaming goes mainstream. And when it does, Stadia's ready and waiting. But, you know, Stadia clearly has Google, you know, letting people know that this exists. But over time, I think they'll do that. That is why Stadia is going nowhere. It's just getting started. I mean, literally getting started. 2 years is still getting started. Now, people say to me, you can't keep saying they're getting started. It's been 2 years now. Do you know what? Xbox, in fairness, is only really blossoming and blooming to the level that it is now after 20 years. One could argue. So 2 years is still getting started, especially with a new concept, a new platform, and a new way of gaming. As I said, people still stuck in the world of buying boxes. Well, they are. You can buy your box and get your console built in, if that makes sense for you. But anyway, I just thought eagle-eyed shopper there. It was even on the when I bought my LG, it was on their webpage. Wasn't that prominent, but when you found the gaming section, obviously it mentioned Xbox because they had a partnership with Xbox, but it also featured Twitch and Stadia logos on the LG TV website, but not front and center. And I don't think it was on the box. I was did I look recently somewhere? And I checked on the box for some things. But anyway, it was just an interesting spot. I thought I would share it with you guys. Anyway, let's check out what the check. Yeah, write the check. Talking of checks, writing the checks. When we watched Sunny Cloud Gaming last week, he had a guy in his chat, Johan S. I think he dropped $900 in super chats. Sunny Cloud Gaming. I mean, the man deserves it, but $900 in the super chats. Then this week, the same guy, Johanna S., he dropped $500. This is when that guy won the lottery. Imagine that. Imagine being there, could drop, like I just dropped $900 in super chats. That'd be bonkers. I'd love to be able to just go, yeah, there we are, mate. There you are, Sonny. There's $500 for you. So like over the space of 2 weeks, this guy's dropped $1,400 in super chats on Sonny's channel. It's amazing. I mean, Sonny deserves it. He absolutely deserves it, especially what he's been through recently. But yeah, Sonny Mummy. Yeah, exactly. He's sugar daddy. A Sonny Mummy or a sugar daddy. Absolutely. But no, I just thought it was amazing. Like I've seen Mr. Beast drop big money, but not some sort of casual person drop money on that scale. It's incredible. Well done, Sonny. Anyway, to the Chatmobile, ladies and gentlemen, to the chat. Let's go. Whew, wow, you've been busy. That's what I love about chat. You guys are always so busy. Yeah, so busy. Right. Soul Home Studio, Cyberpunk, Dirt 5 RD. I think we did that one. 4K 120 teasing with his alternative game of the year awards. Worst game, you mentioned. Definitely excited. 3 games I was going to buy. Exactly. Falconeer I wanted to try. Wreckfest I can't wait for. Loving that. And Destroy, yeah, same here, Anthony, same here. Emmanuel L. Hello. Lovely to see you there. Dave, he's been predicting it, Dave. Witch, burn the witch. Yeah, it is. I think if they hit 50, it is definitely in line. So in interviews, either Jack Booser or I've forgotten now already. He's dead to us because he left Stadia, the other guy. Mentioned that they were some of the feedback they got. So this was back in December 2020 in interviews about Stadia. They said some of the feedback they got is that people wanted more in Stadia Pro. Now that doesn't happen overnight. Well, but go on Google, just write a big check and just buy. No, it's not how it works. You need to build to it by changing your business model, which they've done. They announced that back in April at GDC. Was it GDC? No, the Games Developer Conference. That's GDC. No, the other one. So they changed that model to encourage people developers to utilize Stadia Pro, incentivize people to use Stadia Pro and stuff like that, or developers to put their games in Stadia Pro. So maybe we're seeing the fruits of that now, and I think we will get over 50. I think it's definitely part of their strategy. They've talked about it. And as ever on this show, I'm pointing out where they talk about something and where we see the action. That's what I want to see. I want to see the words and then the action. And this is a an example, the Stadia Pro library, the size of it seems to be, looking at the trend over the last few months and the amount of titles coming in as opposed to going out, it certainly seemed to be building up to at least that 50. So, yeah, right. Stadia's getting better and better. Of course, it is the best it's ever been. Stadia right now is the best it's ever been. That's a fact. Yeah, it's just progression. You know, Falconeer for Inled. Of course, yeah, because he's a big supporter of yours, Falconeer, yeah? Old Thomas. He's loving your work and you're loving his work. Beautiful. Wreckfest for play-alongs, definitely. Yeah, I'm waiting for my second Stadia Premier. Well, it's not my second one. It will be the second one because I've given all my other ones away, I think. But I'm waiting for another Stadia Premier Edition, as well as a Nest doorbell I treated myself to. Spent so much money in the sales. Stop spending money. Destroy All Humans, definitely. Falconeer. Ah, Dismal Gaming. Lovely to see you, sir. I am well, indeed. Wow, Ray loves Transformers Battleground. He played some on Luna. I didn't realize it was on Luna. That's good to know. Oh, another Transformers fans. Destroy All Humans for Scooterama. Wreckfest is going to be a riot, I think. Great for streaming. I think we'll get some, you know, Friday night streams, that sort of thing, yeah? Definitely. Definitely. The fun game. Yeah, I've not played it yet. Definitely. I used to play Destroy All Humans on PS2, so this is the updated version, isn't it? The remake, is it? I get airsick. Oh, yeah. I do. I get a bit airsick if it's too... I was going to buy it, yeah, it saved me money. And Thomas, the developer, is happy. Oh, no, VR. I told you about my experience. I went VR racing with my son. Yeah, so you sit in, you know, like a simulator, racing car simulator, goggles on. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I think it's an age thing. I felt so sick. I thought, you know, I play racing games with my son all the time. He loved it. I felt absolutely, I could only do one race. And I drove around like driving Miss Daisy, like 10 miles an hour, because I felt so, my sweat was pouring down my face. Poor bloke came and goes, "Are you all right?" I must have looked green or just pale. And I said, "No, I think I'm done for the racing for now." I felt such an amateur, felt such a boomer. I hated it. I don't ever want to go near VR ever again. That's how bad it was. VR is not for me. Augmented reality, bring that on. But VR, oh my God. Ugh. Yeah. Oh no, I could imagine. The same with roller coasters. I think it's an age thing. The what's it, the liquid or whatever, the center thing is a biology lesson, but you know, the thing in your ear that keeps you balanced. What's it called? Anyway, the sort of liquid in there that keeps you balanced. I think as you're older, it slows down. So it gets sort of stuck in a sort of a feedback loop. And I went to a massive theme park. So in the UK, the biggest theme park that we have with the top roller coasters is a place called Alton Towers. And I took my kids there for a long weekend a couple of years ago. And I thought, this is going to be great. Went on the first ride. It was a massive one, and it was a wooden one. They built it out of wood. So traditional wooden roller coaster, one of the few sort of giant wooden ones around. And my poor son, he was 10, 11 at the time. He looked sick as a pig. And I thought I was all right. But then he didn't want to do any more after that. But I went on one called the Smiler at Alton Towers, right? It's called the Smiler. It's like some hallucinogenic cat from Alice in Wonderland thing called a Smile. Oh my God. Oh my God, it was hideous. And I had to go on it for my daughter. She loved it. I just thought I was done. Oh my God, I was done. So roller coasters, I'm not a kid anymore. I can't handle it anymore. I'm an old man. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine building the games. I made this. Wow. Yeah. You're not going to get AAA games day and date necessarily on Stadia Pro, but as a library goes, the same Games Pass. The only reason they get AAA games really because of the first party studios, and that's why Xbox have built up to that and bought those studios for that very reason. But that's fine. I think there are people who, and that's why the Stadia model is a good one, because if you really want to get FIFA 22, you're going to buy FIFA 22. You buy it, yeah, and then you get the advantage of trying all these, games and some older AAAs and stuff like that. So yeah. You think Destroy Humans also was on Games Pass? Oh, interesting. It is on Games Pass. It's 4K. Yeah, I've got so many titles. I don't know how many I've got. Oh, it's 43 actually. Okay, we're missing two. So did it include the mistake of Little Nightmares and then not have the ones removed? I still think we're going to get up to 50. It is without Unto the End. Have you added that yet? Or are you going to add it when it comes? We don't know. It comes. You never know. It might slip again. Do love the colours. Yeah, rainbows. Yeah. It was Liverpool FC had their Rainbow Laces match against Southampton. So shout out to LFC for Rainbow Laces match. Those that know what that is. Games Pass, not Games Pass. It goes through me like a Stadia. Definitely going to try Falconeer. Foreclosed. I highly recommend Foreclosed if you can if you play on the keyboard, it's probably amazing. If you're a keyboard player. Yeah, we know about Crow and his shooting. PUBG. Deadly. Yeah, well, it's going to happen now and then. Buying a game and then. It's interesting because some of the games coming to Pro are in the sale already, but it's choices. Gives you choices. 4K 60 frames per second from the ground up. Great work, Thomas. Developer there. 4K 60 frames per second. Beautiful. And I think a flying game, despite I sort of say it doesn't really matter as long as graphically, but I imagine for the reasons we talked about, feeling a bit queasy and all of that a flying game, you want it in 4K 60 frames per second, probably, I imagine. Thumbstick extension. Thank you, 4K. I'll try that. I've got a different controller. I might try it with a different controller. Hey, Chris, how are you, sir? Lovely to see you. Sort of just complained about too little latency on the controller in Foreclosed. Yeah. Not the latency, it's just sensitivity. It's just crazy. Oh, Wreckfest on Steam. Are you happy you didn't now, Jerome? That's the thing. Yeah, Consignio, it's all right. Hey, I think Consignio was in Sonny's chat when Johan S. was dishing out the money. Jesus. Amazing. What a guy. I've been playing this on Xbox, just mayhem. I've always played a game that's similar to Grid pre-racing skirmish. Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine actually talking to Sonny that he's going to love it because they love the Grid games. Interesting question, Radu. Interesting question. I think what we will see if they do add Borderlands 2, there'll be a chunk of Take-Two games, old catalog games. I think they'll all arrive sort of at the same time or over a short period of time. Be like a deal. I imagine. Again, I'm just speculating, but I imagine that if Stadia were going to do a back catalog deal with Take-Two, so for their, Take-Two are all about money for old rope, rinsing out those old titles in an ideal world. So if Stadia are going to do it, maybe do a deal with them, it'll be for a group of titles, I imagine, and hopefully Borderlands 2 is one of those. Victor used to hunt and fish. Oh, I was hopeless fisherman. Terrible, worst fisherman in the world I was. I remember once fishing and I was getting taught by my brother-in-law, and I flicked the rod forward like that. That's what she's doing. I flicked the rod forward, and the top of the rod came flying off and shot right into the middle of the lake. End of my fishing trip. I think I borrowed the rod as well off my brother-in-law. He wasn't happy. I mostly watched and grilled. I mostly grilled and watched videos. It's a bit like a conservation park management game. Interesting. Yeah, I tell you what, one game, they should do a poacher hunter game. Shouldn't they? Where you go around, like it's set in Africa, in Kenya. And you go around, you got to protect giraffe and rhinoceros and stuff like that by taking out poachers. That'd be a good game. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever hunt in real life, but hunting in virtual, hunting virtually on games, it's going to be good. Yeah, well, again, I think we just got to wait and see. I think I think these will be done as not as one-offs. They'll be done as sort of group deals, and you can imagine someone like Phil Harrison having these conversations, pretty high up conversations to get a package of titles. That's what you normally do when you're acquiring, whether it so where I work, we have to we'll acquire a package of films. We don't acquire one film. In order to get the film that you want from that film company, from Universal, you usually have to buy a package, and there's a few kind of lesser known films in order for you to get that big one film. Very rarely do you just buy one-off thing when you're doing a deal with a film company for TV or something like that. And this is similar with, I imagine, it's sort of similar with you dealing with EA and stuff like that. Hence that first 5-game deal, situation that we had with EA. So anyway, but I think it's just watch this space. Yeah. Yeah, I've forgotten about World War Z until it was mentioned in the chat today. As I'm going to whiz through. Apologies if I don't hover on you. It is insane, 31 million. But he's really well known in the YouTube community. He started off just reviewing toys and stuff like that. I tried to get my kids to do that. They got bored after the first week. Initially, I set up a few channels for my kids. I thought, who's going to want to watch me doing YouTube? So I'll get my kids. And I got my daughter when she was like really cute, and she's still lovely now, but when she was a cute little girl, to do Girl Loves Lego. She did a few videos where she talked about Lego and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, one day this will go viral, and next year we'll be millionaires, YouTube millionaires. Kids got bored with YouTube, so in the end I had to do it, and here I am today. Woo. Some kids get older TV mods yeah, they are great for that. Absolutely. Yeah, I've revitalized. So when I bought my new LG, my old Samsung's gone to my bedroom, and I plugged in the Chromecast Ultra that I had in there. Got a controller in my bedroom, controller in my son's bedroom, controller by my big LG TV, and a controller by the PC here, and it works. Like I'm using Wi-Fi in my bedroom, and I was playing Rayman. It works brilliantly. So that's really good. I'm so used to having everything connected. But yeah. If you in Chrome when you're in Gmail, there's already a Stadia link in there. Yeah. Is there? Wow, that's cool. Check that out. You're going to be a 9-year-old, right? Fuck off, Dad. Yeah, exactly. Like those posts where they show the TV and Stadia on the side during some Black Friday TVs. Exactly. It's good to see. Tesco's. Oh, shout out. Could be Tesco. Ah, yes. Interesting. The yellow label. You go in there, Soul Home Studio. Maybe it is Tesco's. It's in the Chrome app panel. Very good. Yeah, it's good to see, and I think we'll see it more. It is indeed. We just, a lot. You say a lot of times it will just be over people's heads, but those that know will know. Oh, there we go. More than 5, Clive, was 1,000. Was 1,000. It was 1,000. Wow, crazy. Sonny is the man. You talking about Johannes? Jesus. Yeah, they do that with doctors. Yeah, I mean, I expect that, but it's just crazy to see, somebody within the community getting that kind of love. It's just amazing. It's awesome. Guy's very generous and fully deserved with old Sonny. Couldn't have a nicer bloke. Don't worry, Stadia dosage. You can rewind. I'm the bag holder. Yeah. I try to be so cool with my kid. Equilibrium. That's it. Yeah. The thing in your head. Yeah. I'm not as young. I told that story like I wanted to get. So I tried to live my life vicariously through my kids. And so 5-6 years ago, I bought them skateboards. I took them to the skate park. And I had a go because I used to be a skateboarder back in my youth. But that was a long, long time ago. I mean, I just forget. I think it's like, it's only a few years ago. No, it wasn't a few. It was several decades ago. And I realized I was getting old because when you go down, when you're a kid, you go down, you get like, sore arms and stuff like that. And then you get up. When you're old and you go down on your skateboard, oh my God, does it hurt? Like it hurts so bad when you're old. I hate it. I hate being old. Not fair. I can't skateboard anymore. I can't go on roller coasters anymore. I just want to stay home and grumpy. I don't like being an old man. It's not fair. Anyway, there we go. Well, we're going to call it a day. I've been chitting and chatting and telling you all about Stadia Pro games and having great fun with you in chat. Lovely to see you all. We're going to call it a night there. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And thank you for catching up if you've been catching up. I've had a blast. Sorry if I didn't shout you out in the chat. We get a lot of chat. I can't shout out everybody. I do my best and all of that. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Stadia Pro week. So have a wonderful Wednesday. There's more Stadia news to come. No doubt. I don't know anything, but no doubt. So look forward to that. But have a great Stadia Pro day on Wednesday and all of that. And I will see you all around. Same time, same place, next week. And we can talk about all the great Stadia Pro games we've been playing and which were our favorites and all of that. Anyway, have a wonderful evening, a wonderful night, and all of those. And I'll see you all around very, very soon. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you.